All right, guys, I want to welcome you guys to tonight's Building, Branding, and Business Call. Every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m., we hop on a six-figure mastermind and get the nuggets and value we need to grow our organization, grow our mindset, and to stretch our imagination. And tonight's call, what I want to talk about tonight, January 29th, I want to talk about the art of duplication, okay? So if you're in this business, you got to understand that this is a skill set that's going to create more freedom, that's going to create more abundance, it's going to create more time for you, and it's going to put your life on easy street when you master the art of duplication, okay? And what I want to talk about today is only two skills that you need to learn develop in this business. Number one, the skill is leadership, and number two, that skill is trading. Let me say that again. If you're going to build a humongous and large organization, you want to start mastering your craft in the form of leadership, and then second, in the form of trading, okay? So you want to focus on those two things if you want to be successful, not only just in this business, but in the world, right? In this industry. So I want you guys to understand that when it comes to having success in this business, number one, it's not going to be a lottery ticket. Okay, it's not a game of chance, and it's not going to come by luck. You're not going to stumble across a T. Smith, or you're not going to stumble across, a Chad Thompson. You're not going to stumble across a Bryce Thompson, where somehow all of a sudden, out of luck, you had a six-figure earner come knock on your door and tell you, "Hey, I'm ready to take your organization to the next level." It's not going to happen like that. A lot of people build these businesses, these work-from-home businesses on a whim, praying that they get a superstar to show up and take their business to another level. But I want you guys to be clear, that's not exactly what happens in this industry, okay? That's more of a long shot than it is of a skill set. So I want you guys to understand that if you're going to build a business that's going to be long-term success, that's going to create more freedom and more abundance for you, you're going to have to develop two skills. That's trading and leadership. So I want you guys to ask yourself right now, right? How many people do you have in your business that's duplicating the process? And right now, if you don't have nobody in your business, then there's nothing being duplicated, right? So I want you guys to understand, what's the point of signing people up if we're not going to get them paid? What's the point of signing people up if we're not going to get them paid? So I want you guys to understand, if you do not implement a process when people join your organization, you're asking them to quit. They're going to fall off the planet. So I want you guys to understand, when people don't get paid, the first thing they do is it doesn't work. They quit. And then they go out here and sell negative stories about the experiences and the money that they wasted giving your opportunity a try. So I want you guys to just take a second right now and just imagine. If you are putting in heavy work, if you are in your trades, if you are showing up to the Zooms, what if you had one of three people doing the exact same thing that you were doing, right? And right now, if you're in a place right now where you're not creating income producing activity, you're not showing up to nothing, well, guess what duplicates? Nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So I want you guys to understand, we got to shift gears this year from a sales job to business development. See, if you have a sales job, your goal is just to make sales, right? So you find somebody, you identify a prospect, they're looking to make money, you get them signed up, you make your commission, and then you disappear. That's what salespeople do, right? Their goal was to sell. But guess what? Every time you get paid, you make money, and they don't, they quit, and you got to go back to the rat race and find another prospect to sell so that you can make another check to cover your bills, cover your lifestyle. So what you end up being on is a vicious cycle of having to constantly sell every day. And you have to do the majority of the work. And if you don't fish, you won't eat. So I want you guys to shift from a sales job to really developing business, duplication. Tonight's topic is the art of duplication. And I want you guys to understand the numbers would never lie. So right now, if you're not creating the numbers, your work ethic is lying. You're not putting the proper work in. So it's a couple of things I want to talk about today, the 2 steps of duplication, okay? So if you got your pen, you got your paper, let's talk about the 2 ways that you need to properly duplicate in order to grow this business and scale it to another level. Because right now, guys, this February 1st, Saturday, we're starting our chairman run, right? We're going to help a lot of people create that residual freedom outside of growing their income every single day in the largest market in the world. So I got my notes ready, guys, and there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Number 1, right? The first thing you want to do, if you want to master the art of duplication, write this down. Number 1 is you have to get your prospect paid in the first 48 hours. You have to get your prospect paid in the first 48 hours, no longer than the first 7 days. Why do you want to get this prospect paid in the first 48 hours? It's because you want to create a story. You want to create a testimony, right? The whole purpose, your main objective in this business is to get your downline paid. If you want to get paid, your objective is to get others paid. That's why I love when Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people achieve what they want out of life, by default, you will get everything that you want out of life. So I want you guys to understand the number 1 objective is not you going chairman, is not you going platinum 150, platinum 600, it's not you making $1 million in the charts. If you're going to create impact and service to many, your number 1 objective is getting everybody else paid first. So I want you guys to understand, look how that shifts your intentions. Instead of worried about you, this year you have to understand it's not about you. It's about putting a winning environment together so that your prospects can have success. Your team can have success. Your leaders can have success, right? So the whole purpose of people signing up with you is so that they can get money. They can get paid. And if you fail to get people paid, you fail to duplicate and you fail to create the culture, okay? So our number 1 objective is to get people paid. Why? Because the first question the prospect is going to ask you is, how soon, if I give you this $235, how soon can I get my money back? Okay? So you want to set a goal within the first 7 days to get them their money back. How do we do that? Well, guys, in the first 48 hours, they should get paid. How long does it take to set up a broker's account? Right? Minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, if that, where we're sending off their ID, we're getting a broker's account up, and we're funding their account. That's critical the first time they sign up. And you have to have the type of attitude and the belief that they can borrow to know that this is possible. But see, it's all about how you carry your posture. If you have a casual approach to winning, so will your organization. If you have a casual approach to getting on Zooms, so will your organization. You getting on 10 minutes late, so will everybody else. So as the leader, you set the pace. So I want you guys to understand that people want to know, how soon can I get my money back? And that's 48 hours. So the goal is to get that broker's account funded the same day they sign up, right? Get them in their education to at least learn how to place a trade. And then in the next 24 hours, be able to copy, paste, and profit, right? A trade setup for either yourself, our coach, Owen Wright, or somebody in our community that's having a lot of success in their trading. It's that simple. But wait a minute, guys. What happens when you get somebody to sign up and in their first 48 hours, they create a check? Now, we're not talking about making $1 million in 48 hours. We're not talking about making $1,000. Is it possible? Absolutely. But what if they just made $20 in 24 hours? What if they just made $10 just by pressing a button, copying and pasting? What would that do for the momentum of your organization if somebody got paid in 24 hours, right? So I want you guys to understand that you have to raise their belief, right? Because their business and yours rise on their ability to believe that this is actually going to work. So when you get them their first belief check, now the momentum goes up and they duplicate the exact same thing that you duplicated. So wait a minute, how you bring them in is teaching them how to bring others in. So if the same day you got them qualified, right? By qualified, getting their broker's account, right? Get them to go through their basics. And then step two, being able to copy a successful signal in their first 24 hours, now you got them paid. But then when they go out to prospect, they're going to go out and do the same thing. So can you imagine, without even being there, you got 3 to 4 people that's bringing people in and getting them paid in 24 hours. This is the whole point of duplication. Now, the biggest reason we want to get people paid in 24 to 48 hours is to sell that story. Write this down. Facts tell and stories sell. Facts tell and stories sell. See, I want you guys to understand, you might be in a place right now where you're worried about how much money you've made. I want you guys to understand, when you help that prospect make money in 24 hours, you're no longer on trial. People always ask you, well, how much money have you made? Well, what if you had a story to tell them and say, hey, I recently got started 2 weeks ago and I helped 3 people make $700 in 7 days, right? Why? Because you introduced them to a signal, or you introduced them to help them go platinum 150, or you got them paid or successfully launched their business in 7 days. So now you're no longer on trial because you have a testimony to share. So what if you got on social media when you got friends, 500 friends, and you share the story about a single mother that you personally sponsored who made $100 in 24 hours directly working with you? What would that do for your business? What would that do to your belief level to see other people winning and happy that they're winning? So I want you guys to understand that the whole purpose of getting people paid in 48 hours is to create that story. Now, that story is not only for you to sell, it's for your team to sell. So can you imagine if it was 100 people in a 6-figure mastermind selling a story about how a single mom of 2, right, who just lost her job, got recently divorced, and now is out here by herself, and all of a sudden she came into our community, and in 24 hours, she took a $20 account and turned it into $500, right? How powerful would that story be? How many people can use that story as leverage to share with their prospects? But see, if you never have that aggressive approach to winning, if you don't have a belief where we gotta have this type of momentum, well, guess what? It'll never happen in your business. So I want you guys to understand the attitude that you gotta carry in 2020 is that we're not messing around with people who don't wanna make money in 48 hours. If they wanna take their time in 3-4 years to make money, those aren't the people you wanna work with at all. We wanna get paid now, right? How does the commercial go? It's my money and I want it now. Well, you got to know what culture you want to create. If you want to create a culture where people get paid 6 months from now, it's totally up to you. Or you can create a culture where people get paid 60 minutes from now or 6 hours from now. It's all about the pace of the leader. So I want the attitude that you guys got to have in 2020 is we got to get paid in 48 hours, period. 7 days at the least. So this number one step to duplication, guys, is getting people paid fast in the first 48 hours. So make sure you got that. Now, the second step I wanted to talk about tonight, okay? After you get people paid in their first 48 hours, if you really want to create massive duplication, if you want your organization to grow by the hundreds, the thousands, the second thing you have to do immediately is get into that new sponsors prospect list, okay? Write this down. The second thing you want to do after you get them paid in 48 hours, using the products. What's the products? Levels, right? MetaTrader 4, right? Or anything on the IM platform that can get them to a check, okay? But then the second thing you want to do is immediately get into your prospects network, right? You got to get them promoted so they can't afford to quit. Write this down. If you want to have massive duplication and you want your organization to grow, you have to get them promoted so that they can't afford to quit. What does that mean? Well, guys, guess what? Let's say for example, I helped you guys go to Platinum 600. Now you have $600 coming in every 30 days. How hard now is it for you to walk away from this business? How hard is it now? Because you got $600 coming in. Now you can't afford to quit, right? Because you built some type of lifestyle around that $150 every Friday. It may be paying a car note. It may be somebody's rent. It may be a single mom's college tuition for their children. It may be somebody's travel money. So in somebody's mind, if this $600 stops, so does my traveling. So does my children's college tuition. So does my car note money, right? So when you get people ranked up, when you get people leveling up, guys, it's hard for them to walk away. Now, because of our platform, we have the ability to place people under our prospects and get them promoted, okay? But what we want to focus on is not so much your network. We want to get them into their network. Why? Because you want to duplicate it. If you can make 100 name lists, they can make 100 name lists, and their prospects and their team downline will make 100 name lists. So now you're tapping into thousands of individuals rather than you going out and working on your own 100 and properly placing them all throughout your organization. You're only one person. That right there is another sales job. If you're only going to depend on the efforts of yourself, what's the purpose of having a team if nothing duplicates? So I want you guys to understand, you want to get them their volume through their network. It's good to help people rank up, but it's even better when they got people in their network who they've already established relationships with, trust, and they decide to work their network, monetize it, and create that success. So I want you guys to understand, you either keep working or you lose your check, okay? So you got to dive into your prospects list. Now, that's number two. If you want to properly duplicate, number one, you got to get them paid in the first 48 hours. Number two, you got to get them in their list ASAP. And I'm about to talk about that, okay? This number three, we're about to talk about how to get into their list ASAP. So number three, what we want to do, right, with this new prospect that you just signed up, this new team member, okay, this new family in a six-figure mastermind, what we want to do is have them practice with their list of resources. Practice with their list of resources. See, they're new into the industry and they can understand terms like practice. For a lot of people that's coming in and tell them to go launch and go out here and recruit 150 people, they're going to be intimidated. It's going to go over their head and their belief is going to be down, right? But I want you to understand that if you use the word practice with your list of resources, AKA on-the-job training, right? So let's call step number three, practicing with their list of resources, AKA on-the-job training, right? So in order to have your organization properly duplicate, you have to do some on-the-job training with your new students, with your new team members. Now, let's talk about it. Whenever you start working a new job, in most cases, you have to shadow the expert, right? There's somebody that's going to train you. It's like a probation. You come to work and you got to sit with this person, right? You got to listen to this person, and they're going to walk you through a day in life of working that job, right? They're going to shout at you. They're going to get on the calls with you. They're going to make sure that you got it. So we have to do the same thing in this business, right? We want to show them by example, not by mouth, but by example, how we grow this business. Now, let's talk about the three things that you have to do on the job training, okay? So if you got your notes, here's the first step we got to do, right? So part of three, the on-the-job training, if you really want to launch and duplicate, the first thing that you have to do, number one, is you have to get that Zoom call with at least 4 to 5 people on, okay? So you're telling your new prospect, okay? Let's just say I'll pick a Mia. Mia's on the line tonight, okay? So I'm telling Mia, I'm welcoming her to the team. I got her quick started. In the first 48 hours, she made $20, $50. She's excited, got a belief check, and now she's ready to have the conviction to go out and share with the world. So what I'm going to tell Mia, I'm going to say, hey, Mia, listen, what we're going to do now, Mia, is we're going to help you create that abundance. We're going to help you create the residual freedom, and we're going to help scale your business so that you can get your time back, you can have abundance, and you can travel the world and still get paid to do so. Here's what we got to do, Mia. Mia, what I want you to do is I want you to get 4 or 5 friends or family members, right, just to practice on the Zoom call tonight, okay? We just want to get 4 or 5 people, Mia, to hop on a Zoom call tonight just so you can practice on your list of resources, okay? So now Mia, what she's going to do, right, is we already made the list of a list of resources. Who is the list of resources? Her warm market, her cold market, her 100 name list. So now what we're going to do is get 4 or 5 immediately on the Zoom in the first 24 to 48 hours. Why? Because ultimately we want to get her education free. That's another story we can sell. Can you imagine a Mia getting started and in 48 hours we got her paid and got a free scholarship? That's 2 stories we can sell. Hey, I want to congratulate Mia for getting her scholarship in 48 hours. What does that do in a team group chat? What does that do amongst other people that's getting started? It shows other people that it's doable, that it can happen. So the first thing we're going to do with her list of resources, we're going to get 4 to 5 people on a Zoom call. And on that Zoom call, guess what? The mentor is going to do all the work. Yes, I'm going to do all the work. Her upline, you going to do all the work. So what I would do is Mia would follow the scripts that we laid out, right? Okay. She's going to reach out to a list of warm markets and she's going to ask them, right? She's going to call her mom, her dad, her friends, her family and say, hey, listen, right? I just started a new career part-time and I'm looking to practice on some people that love me and trust me, right? Before I launch my national advertising campaign. Listen to the script again, guys. She's going to reach out to 4 or 5 people and tell them, say, hey, listen, hey, mom, hey, dad, hey, bestie, right? I just started a part-time career that I'm really passionate about. And my mentor advised me to just practice on some people that love and trust me, right? So I need you guys to hop on a Zoom tonight at 7 o'clock because I don't want to let my mentor down. Can you help me? What am I saying, guys? I really want you guys to read between the lines because it's not about logics, it's about emotion. People rather do more for you emotionally than logically. People want to do you a favor. So if you was to ask your mom or your friends, hey, can you do me a huge favor? Right? I just started a part-time career that I'm really passionate about, and my mentor have asked me to practice on somebody. And before I launch my national advertising budget that I'm about to invest in, I want to make sure I got it right practicing on you. Is that okay, Bob? Is that okay, bestie? Is that okay, mom? She's going to say, well, sure. What do you need me to do? Well, I need you to hop on this Zoom tonight at 7 o'clock, and I'm going to have my mentor just shadow me to make sure I got it right. It's a script, okay? If you understand the script, you understand that you don't have to be creative. You don't have to duplicate. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Just say the script, okay? So now you got 4 to 5 people on the Zoom in 48 hours. So now what's about to happen, right? Those 4 to 5 people now is in front of your mentor. And what are your mentor going to do? They're going to show the plan. But first, the mentor, if it's you, you're going to say to the friends and family of Amia, hey guys, I just want to thank everybody for hopping on and supporting Amia. It means a lot to us before she launches her national advertising campaign that she get an opportunity to practice on you guys, right? So what we want to do is to show you guys exactly what Amia just invested in. And before she goes national, she want to make sure that you guys understand exactly what she's about to do. So then we go through the process. Your mentor is about to spend that 15 and 20 minutes, right? Pouring out that value and that education, giving them the game plan, showing them the plan. So now those 4 to 5 people, the bestie, The cousins, the mom and dad, they now been introduced to how they can grow money in the largest market in the world. And Mia just exposed 4 to 5 people. That's step one if you want to duplicate, right? Why is this important? Because you want to get the disappointment out the way from your friends and family, okay? Because your friends and family going to tell you no, but get the disappointment out the way anyway, out the gate, right? And don't take it personal. Some will, some won't. But at least in 48 hours, we were able to, right, expose 4 to 5 people. So your step one, and you're on the job training. Watch this. Mia is my mentee. She watched me talk to her people. Then she watched me do the presentation. Then she watched me close, right? All in 48 hours outside of her making a check, outside of her. Now she's in a position to get 2 and free, and she just got that on the job training. So that's step one, is to get that Zoom knocked out the way. Now, step two, if you want to properly duplicate and expand fast, you want to have a home meeting right after that Zoom, okay? So if you can do the Zoom in the first 48 hours, your home meeting should be in the first 5 to 7 days. Your home meeting should be in the first 5 to 7 days. Now, what happens at the home meeting? At the home meeting, even though your mentor did the Zoom call by itself, at the home meeting, now I'm asking Mia, after I already trained her on doing a presentation, she watched me do it, okay? I'm gonna say, Mia, at this home meeting, you do the first half, and I'll do the second half, okay? So now, in that first week, she knows how to deliver the presentation because she stepped up in front of the first and did the first half of the prezo. And wherever she messes up at, guess what? The mentor is coming behind and closing out strong. So step two is to have that home meeting. These businesses are built in the dens and living rooms of people's houses. Guys, I see so many people, they want to go out and rent a $1,000 venue. They want to come through the door and have 100 people invite. They want to send out business cards. They want to send out invitations. They want to go make a barbecue for the event. They want to order a rack of lamb. They want to go order wine, music, and all of the above when people are here to make money. So you can literally have a home meeting, invite people over, and change the game. So I want you guys to be clear that step two is having that home meeting. And then number two, right? You doing the first half and your mentor doing the second half. Now, let's talk about step three. Step three, these are all 3 different meetings, okay? You want to get these 3 meetings knocked out the way fast. The first one is a Zoom. The second one is a home. Now your third home event or location event where you might have a local park district, right? You just had your first launch at home, and now you're ready to take it to another level. So now you can come together either with your team, your upline, or now you can get an exclusive event where you can scale up a little bit. So now your third meeting, right, is you doing the meeting by yourself. So now after Mia, number one, watched me do it. Then number two, we did it together. Now number three, she got to do it by herself. And then the mentor is just there for cleanup. What do I mean by cleanup? She might need to call and put your mentor, me, on a conference call just to close out the room. After she did the first half and the second half, she just might need some third-party verification to close out the guests in the room, okay? Or it might be your mentor pulls up, you do it all, and then afterwards your mentor just has some closing remarks, okay? So if you want to properly duplicate, there's 3 M's, there's 3 types of meeting that you want to do ASAP in your first month. The first week though, in 48 hours, get them on the Zoom with 4 to 6 people on their list of resources, right? We're not saying 100 name list. We're saying a list of resources, okay? That they can literally use emotions with and not just logics with, okay? Now, the first thing is getting them on the Zoom, first 48 hours. The second thing is planning a home meeting in the first 7 days. And then the third thing is doing a meeting all by yourself at an event. You get a flyer, you go all out, and you really promote, really launch your business, and you do it yourself and have a mentor there or a team member there to close. Okay? So those are the three things that I want to talk about to really get everything off to the ground, right? And then I had, okay. So what I want to do now is get ready to close out, but go back over a little bit of how we create this momentum, okay? And I want you guys to understand your language is everything. And you never want to be lazy with language, okay? You want to let people know that, hey, I'm looking for people to get paid in the first 48 hours, but I'm not looking to work with everybody. And it's the truth. We're not looking to work with everybody. But for those who take action now, I can build, you get the top of my sales force. You get to be at the top of my sales force where I can put customers up under you to help you hit your residual goals, right? You can say that in your meetings. You can say that on your calls because you want to give people a fear of loss. You want to get these spots filled up and you got to incentivize them to take action now. See, we got to fall in love with the word now. And now spelled backwards is one. If you can move now, you've already won, okay? Chairman is already done for you if you're ready to relaunch and move now, okay? So let me just go back real quick so that you guys can understand, right, as we get ready to close this out, what exactly you need to do, right, to duplicate an organization, to have massive success, and hit your goal of residual income where it can chase you. Two things you want to work on and become an expert at and master is number one, your leadership. That means you need to dive into the leadership books, right? You need to show up and show out. You need to spend more time with your mentor than you spend with your downline, right? I want you guys to understand, people think that your upline is going to blow your phone up. No, they're not. Why? Because they're blowing their upline phone up. Chad don't blow my phone up, right? I should be blowing his phone up. He makes $100,000 a month. So I want you to understand, if you're going to be hungry, you got to be humble. Get rid of the ego. Blow them up. Shoot them a text. Ask them what's next. What can I do? Can I follow you around? Can I shadow you? Right? You want to duplicate your upline. Write this down. Never let your upline outwork you. And never let your downline outwork you. So if you guys see me doing 5 to 7 prezos a week, well, guess what? If you're not a Platinum 2000 right now, and I'm glad this is recorded, because on this recording, I'm a Platinum 2K, right? But it's going to be thousands of people that's coming behind, listening to this recording, going to chairman, right? And I'm somewhere probably working on other business ventures. But that's the freedom that creates when you can duplicate an organization. So the first thing you have to understand if you're listening to this recording is that you need to spend 80% of your time with your upline, your mentor, and 20% with everybody else, okay? That's critical because this is not a lottery ticket, right? You actually got to model what you're looking to happen in your organization. You got to model it, okay? This is not a game of chance. This is not a lotto winner. People are not going to magically come in and become leaders. It's not going to happen. You got to cultivate that. You got to create the environment where people are getting the substance to become leaders. Remember, this is not a sales job. This is business development. Don't take it personal when people walk away, when people quit. Look at it as a way, man, maybe my culture, maybe my classroom is not built enough for people to really win. What can I do as a leader to make sure that people really got it? Okay, so let's talk about it real quick. Number one, our first goal in our 3-step process, number one is to get people paid in 48 hours. That is your objective, okay? Put that on your goal card. See, so many people have financial goals, but they don't have impact goals. Right now, if you was looking at your card, your goal card, How many people besides yourself are those goals in harmony with? Right? Is your mom on your goal card? Is your team on your goal card? Right? Is your impact goal where you're going to help thousands of people create $1,000 residual check or $150 residual check? Okay? What is that number? Who are the people you're going to impact? Right? And right now, if you don't have that impact, if you're not sharing this, you're not servicing anybody, well, how would you leave a legacy if you're not servicing anybody? Can you imagine right now if I never told anybody on this line about trading? Where would your life be right now if you never even heard about it? What if I chose after my mentor told me and I never told anybody? Think about it. That would have been selfish of me. So we don't want selfless success. We want to create service when other people have success as well. So the first thing you got to do, your number one objective, is to get them paid so that you can get paid. You. Don't treat people like a quick start bonus. Treat people as investors. Treat people as seeds, because when you plant the right seeds and they grow, these people will become investors in your dreams. Because when you help them grow, they're going to reflect that in your life and your income. Okay? So we want to celebrate the growth of others, not just somebody signing up, they disappear and you disappear. Okay? So how quick is a goal for you? It's a challenge. How quick can you get people their 235 back? That's the type of challenge you should be having. Man, I just signed up Monique. I wonder how fast I can get her back this money. Let's work, Monique. Listen, here's what I need you to do, Monique, because I only like working with people who want to get paid in the first 48 hours. See, now what that does for your team, your prospects, your new team members, is that cultivates their belief into a certain success speed. Remember, success loves speed. But if you're having a casual approach, they're going to go at the pace that you, not at your pace, because remember, they're new. They're going to go at an even slower pace. Why? Because they don't know nothing, right? And confused people don't do nothing. So I want you to be clear. You have to dive in deep when your new person gets started, when your new prospect gets started, when they plug into you, you got to have a personal challenge to change the game. So number one, you got to get them paid in the first 48 hours. Number two, you got to get into their prospect list ASAP. Got to get into their network. You can't go chairman just recruiting one person, right? It's about them being able to go into their network and then their network going into their network and their network going into their network and levels down where you don't have to pick up a phone and it's already duplicated. See, we got a saying in this industry, when your phone stops ringing, you're doing something right. That means they got it, right? My mentor, he don't have to call me about doing a meeting. He didn't have to call me and say, T, I need you to put this Zoom training together so that you can train your team. No, I'm a leader now. I got it. So I'm intentional with my success and I'm intentional with the speed of our organization, okay? So I want you guys to understand step number two is you got to get into that prospects list, okay? Get them promoted as fast as possible, right? Because we want to create testimonies. We want to continue to brag about all the people we've helped change the game with. 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, we have to change the game. So you got to get into that prospects list. Number three, keep that volume going through their network, right? Don't make it all about you coming to save them, right? Make them responsible for participating in their own rescue, right? Even though you may be a great builder, you can put hundreds of people under somebody, but what good is you putting 100 people under them, spoon feeding them, and they never go out and get one person, okay? You just missed out on 100 people because you didn't activate their list and you don't know who they know in their list, right? Because you can literally bump into somebody who knows celebrities in their network, who know President Obama in their network, who know major influencers that can get in the game and change the game forever. So I want you guys to understand, you got to hurry up and tap root to their network. Figure out who is it that they know, influence, and you want to get them on the line ASAP in that first Zoom meeting, okay? That's number two. Keep them working or keep them in a space where they know they lose their check. Get them promoted. It's hard to make platinum 150, $35 every Friday, even if it's just 35, right? You can do, that's gas money in a week. And when it stops, what's what? So does their grind. So you want to keep them consistently working. Now, I want you guys to understand this. The last thing that we have to do is you got to practice with your list of resources. We got to get these meetings going quick, fast, and in a hurry. What does that mean? Number one, the first thing we need to do is get 4 to 5 people in the Zoom inside that new prospects list. Quick, get them exposed, get them some momentum going, get the disappointment out the way. Okay. Number two, get their home meeting in the books. Right now, they're new, they have success already. They're going to listen to everything that you told them. Okay. Get that home meeting in the books first 5 to 7 business days. Then number three, get them to do the event themselves. Right? Can you imagine if you had 10 people doing an event where you don't even have to be there, but maybe you can pick up a phone call and just close out the room? What would that mean for your organization right now, where when you sleep, your business keeps working, right? When you sleep, your business keeps working. Right now, I have leaders right now that had a meeting. Devin had a meeting last night where his team came over to the house and he trained. They had Taco Tuesday. Guys, I'm all the way in San Diego, but I have meetings going on in Indiana, team trainings that had nothing to do with me. But then under Devin, we got New Age Wealth. They just launched Texas. I'm nowhere near Texas. But now because we duplicated leaders, we got events going on all throughout the United States, right? And you don't have to be there. So what if you just scaled that up a bit and had meetings going all over the world? See, what I love about our mentor, David E. Monetier, is right now he has an organization of 40,000 people and generating $1 million every single month. How powerful is it for you to do one leadership call a week and make $1 million a month? See, the better you duplicate, the less you do. Guys, when I first got started in this industry, I had no idea about duplicating. It had turned into another job. I was doing all the prezos, doing all the leadership calls, doing all the trainings, doing all the events. It was just me. And it felt like another job. We didn't walk off a job to start another job. This is not about taking up your time. This is about getting your time back. Okay? So what you have to do, number one, is get clear on what position you want to hit this year. Guys, we're starting this chairman run this Saturday, February the 1st. And so we're about to go to a whole nother level. So what I want to share with you guys now is the ability now to take it to another level. Now to scale up, duplicate, and win even bigger. So guys, I didn't want to be long tonight. I just wanted to hop on here, share what's on our hearts, what's on our mind tonight about duplicating and taking things to another level. So guys, if you got some value from this call, just do me a huge favor. I'm going to record this, put it on YouTube and put it back out. But just go into the team group chat, drop some fire, let everybody know you got some value for this so that we can continue to encourage our team to plug into the value so we can continue to build our community. So I want to thank you guys for hopping on. Thank you for plugging in. I'll get this downloaded as soon as possible and get it right back out. I love you guys. Have a great evening tonight, and I'll see you in the group chat. Have a great evening.